Hey, it's Mr. Mike from the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. We're going to do our special Dino-A-Day segment right now, and I want to tell you about the dinosaur that we're talking about today. It is related to a very famous animal called the Ankylosaurus. Now, growing up, I referred to it as Ankylosaurus, but I was corrected by a paleontologist who said, Mr. Mike, it's actually Ankylosaurus. So if you think of the Star Wars character Kylo Ren, well, then you'll remember Ankylosaurus. So the Ankylosaurus is this gentle beast right here. Okay, this is an armored animal with a triangular shaped head and plenty of scutes all over its back, plates, with a very special large club on its tail. This helped it protect itself from predators. So the main difference between the Ankylosaurus and the one that we're talking about today, Gargoyleosaurus, is the fact that the Gargoyleosaurus looked very similar, a more primitive version of the Ankylosaurus, but it had no club tail at all. It was about 10 feet long, smaller than Ankylosaurus, lived about 155 to 144 million years ago. So it's an early version, and we think that what happened was the Gargoyleosaurus started here in history, and then maybe they branched off. Some of the animals ended up with tail clubs, and some didn't. And another species called the Nodosaur is one that did not have a club on its tail. So it is related to the Ankylosaurus, but smaller and no club on its tail. It was discovered in 1996, named in 1998, discovered in Wyoming in the Morrison Formation, a very famous area where lots of interesting dinosaur discoveries have been made. It had shoulder spikes, some spikes around the shoulder area, okay, in this area, like the Kentrosaurus that we mentioned in episode 1. Not many animals had shoulder spikes, so this makes this a little different too. Discovered by Ken Carpenter and James Kirkland. Also at that time, around the same time, they discovered an animal called Mimorapelta, which is very similar, and at one time they thought they might end up being the same species, but they're a little bit different enough that Mimorapelta and Gargoyleosaurus are definitely different species. Now, just so happens a couple years ago, I wrote a story about a baseball team that used all dinosaurs for its players. And it mentions not only the Gargoyleosaurus, but also the Ankylosaurus. So here we go from Dinorific Poetry, Volume 3. This is called Dinos Play Baseball. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Dino baseball game. Sit down, relax, and have a snack. We're awfully glad you came. It's such a lovely evening for a game under the lights. Now here they are, the fabulous Long Island Dynamites. The Dynamites are primed. They just can't wait to take the field. They're rested and they're hungry, plus their aching bones have healed. Now let's introduce the lineup for your favorite hometown squad. Stand up, yell out, and show our boys you're ready to applaud. Our third base player, Ankylosaurus, bats from either side. He leads us off and swings that tail and gives each pitch a ride. Batting next, Barapasaurus, sure can pound the ball. He plays the outfield by himself. It's nice to be that tall. The Irritator crowds the plate, makes it hard to pitch. But when he connects, he nearly splits the ball from hide to stitch. In cleanup spot, the Yang Chuanosaurus is a brute. He'll knock in runs and he can steal a base for you to boot. He swings and throws with his left paw. Our catcher's batting fifth. The Camptosaurus hits with might. His power is no myth. Up next, Velociraptor is the fastest player we know. He loves to scare opposing players by flashing his sharp toe. The seventh slot, Gargoyleosaurus, solid as a tank. He'll never quit. He'll hit and run, so take that to the bank. Now he's got long claws that curve a pitch. The Therizinosaurus, our pitcher, batting next. That's why many of the hitters are perplexed. And batting ninth, our smartest player, the clever Troodon. His strategy and baseball smarts the team depends upon. The Dynamites are good to go. The other team looks scared. They must have heard about how the other last opponent fared. Now grab another hot dog and stand up to greet the team. and order 2 more coffees with perhaps some extra cream. These games sometimes can take a bit more time than you'd expect. Remember, folks, they're dinosaurs. The rules they might neglect. They take the field, salute the flag. The crowd begins the wave. Parents, we politely ask your children to behave. The music swells. The stands are packed with dinos short and tall. The ump steps out and yells, "Okay, you dinos, let's play ball!" Dinosaurs Playing Baseball from Dinorific Poetry, Volume 3, written by Mr. Mike and illustrated by my son, Ethan. Today's animal, the Dino-A-Day, Gargoyleosaurus, related to the Ankylosaurus. Let's do it again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This, of course, brought to you by our friends at the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. Till then, have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Ta-ta.